minute. And I was trying to avoid this because we've talked about these teams a lot, and this is a game that's going to get Brian's juices flowing, or Lord knows what's going to happen there that we probably don't want to know. But we're going to go with the Heat.
Hey, yo.
Yeah, well, who knows? That's why I'm saying I don't think I want to know. But with you, who knows? Going with the Miami Heat, they will be in the Big Easy battling New Orleans Pelicans. The Pelicans, strange team. We know how Murph feels about their backcourt. They are the favorites here at -2.5. The over/under for this contest is 227.5. Let's start with Brian. Why don't we just get this out the way? Why not? Look, the Heat, they've been playing better. They got off to a slow start. They're healthier now. They're sitting in the 7th spot in the East, 6.5 games out of the top spot, 17-18. They'd like to end the first half on a high note, finishing at 500. So I know you'd like to see that, Brian. The Pelicans, they're hanging around the Western Conference playoff race. They're currently in the 11th position, 15-20, 11.5 games back, which means they're 3.5 out of the 8th spot. So they're right there in terms of the play-in. Is this a big game for your Heat, Brian? Is Heat culture going to come through? They're not favored here. Are they going to show the mettle, the toughness, and get a road win that you should put your money on?
So I'm a little concerned with Jimmy Butler's injury, only because he'll probably want to sit out tonight and just come back after the All-Star break, because the injury is not really severe, and it would make sense to just rest and get that extra time to, just rest up, not play, and be ready for the second half of the season. The thing is that when Jimmy Butler doesn't play, the Miami Heat are 4-10. When he plays, they're 13-8. That's a humongous swing with one player. Bam Adebayo also questionable, though I expect him to play because he's been questionable the last couple of days. He was day-to-day not that long ago, and all of a sudden he played. The thing is, when he plays and it's just him, if other guys around him aren't scoring, he sometimes is not as aggressive as he should be, as someone with his skill set should be, and that's going to be something that I'm watching tonight. Now, if we remember, these two teams played each other on Christmas. Jimmy Butler rolled his ankle, missed the second half, and the Heat were fine. They ended up cruising to a double-digit win, and they were able to, play very well during that game. So I'm not saying that I expect something similar tonight, because you just don't know. With Zion, he's just going to get his regardless. I would hope, for Miami's sake, that Bam actually gets matched up on him, because if they're able to switch, he's going to cook Kelly Olynyk all night and whoever else is at the 4. If they're able to keep Bam on him, maybe you could restrict him a little bit better and at least make him work for those points, and then you'll have to live with Brandon Ingram doing what he does. So we'll see. But I would lean Miami, but I'm not totally confident. It's kind of a stay away.
Kind of a stay away for you. Murph, you are the resident sometimes Pelicans fan, sometimes Pelican hater, sometimes motivator of Stan Van Gundy. Pelicans have been playing a little bit better. We can give them credit in that, but they're still inconsistent, right? 15-20. They just haven't really ever been consistent. They are the favorites here, though, at home. Is your money on the Pels tonight?
Yeah, I don't know how you can put money on the Pels. Like you said, they're so inconsistent. They're actually playing Miami. I think the only reason they are favored is because of Jimmy being questionable. Mm-hmm. I think if he plays, if I knew he were playing, I would definitely pick Miami. I'm not saying New Orleans can't win. I wouldn't be surprised if they won, but I wouldn't put money on them winning, because you just can't. They're just not. You can't trust them right now. Like Brian said, Zion will get his no matter what. I'm not worried about that. So that in itself will force me to tune in. But in terms of winning the game, that's more Miami's forte. Winning, I'm much more confident in Miami winning a game than I am in
look at him smiling.
than I am in New Orleans winning a game. And I kind of feel like Jimmy plays tonight because both teams coming off a loss. Miami's coming off a loss. They probably want to go into the All-Star break off a win. So I could see Jimmy, gutting it out tonight, getting that win. If he plays, I'd be surprised if New Orleans wins the game.
Okay, and so on there. What about you, Jarod? Are you drinking the Heat Kool-Aid? Are you all in on the Heat? Are you all in on the Heat culture now? Will they grit out a tough win even if Jimmy Butler doesn't play tonight? What do you like about this? It's an intriguing line at -2.5 for the Pels. What do you like about this matchup?
I mean, hashtag Heat culture, baby. Eric Spoelstra going to let them go into the break losing the game. They got to get this win. But honestly, Miami and New Orleans are two teams I do not like betting on just because I just never know what I'm going to get from these guys. And particularly with Jimmy being out, I have no idea what kind of key team's going to show up.
Questionable.
Again, questionable. If Bam shows up and is assertive, yeah, all right. But if Bam decides to be, all right, let me get everybody involved, pass the ball around. It's like, Bam's still learning how to be like the guy, which, by the way, that skill set to be the guy, not everybody has that, right? Some guys have it that shouldn't have it, but that's a whole other story, right? It just doesn't work, right? So it's tough. And then New Orleans, as Murph knows, man, like you never know. I'll look at them for stretches and I'm like, damn, this is the best team in the league when I watch them for 2 minutes. And other times I'm like, oh hell no. Like, I just don't know what they're doing. It looked completely confused. I've never played basketball before, man. So stay away game for me. But if I had to, gun to my head, I go Heat just because of the culture. Over under, I'd stay away from.
Yeah, I would go. I'm still going to go Heat here. Even if I would go Heat, I would stay away from this game. It's not one I would definitely put my money on. But even with Butler out, I might still go Heat because you can see the Pelicans messing this up. Like you said, they're the kind of team, Jarod, that can look really good and then next look horrible. So would it shock you if Miami gutted this out and we saw a very aggressive game from Bam tonight? Which I agree. Eric Cheng has brought this up in the chat, and you brought it up as well, and as well as Brian. We do need to see that from him. But it wouldn't surprise me if Miami found a way, even without Butler tonight against the Pelicans. And we've all seen the Pelicans look really good offensively and then go to stretches, as Murph has talked about, where the shooting is just awful and you don't want anybody in the backcourt shooting the ball. So, yeah, I think you got to ride with Miami. I would stay away from the over-under 2 just because I don't know what kind of game this might be. But it's going to be an interesting one for sure. All right, moving right along.